Good morning, guys. Hello, fellow trailblazers. Today is Saturday, the 3rd of May, I believe. The 4th, actually, the 4th of May. So we are shooting 2 videos for My Money Adventures podcast, and I've just committed to showing you behind the scenes, the setup, what happens before we actually start shooting. So I just got to the office/studio, and the team is arriving as well. So today's episode is one on career planning, mental health, personal development, and the second one will be on pricing. Because a lot of trailblazers have been complaining about pricing and all the changes happening within the banking industry. So I'm going to try to break it down and simplify some of the changes. So join me on this adventure. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, but also share the comment and let me know what you think of the behind the scenes. Because a lot of people just see the end product, they don't really get to experience what happens on set, the challenges we experience, and just the general vibe. So let's go. Welcome to the TKO studio, where I record all my amazing podcast episodes. So what we always start off with is making sure that the audio is great, because I believe that great audio makes for great content. Next up is to set up the lighting, because visuals need to look very clean and very appealing on camera. So lighting is very important. But what makes our particular office challenging is there's a reflection, so trying to balance the lighting is also very important. The challenges of the studio. This is the behind the scenes. We're trying to deal with. The studio is crazy good, but lighting wise it's a nightmare. Also at Bisa Street. So just to make sure that we produce the best quality, I always work with a sound engineer to help with the sound, and then of course I outsource a videographer to help me with the visuals. And then what we do is we take the audio into the podcast, which is available on Spotify and of course Apple Podcasts, and then of course we also upload the full video with the quality audio on our YouTube channel. So quality production always yields better results, so I make an effort to invest in the production, and it does come with a cost that I always try to balance and manage and plan for.
I'll just screw around.
Will I be able to zoom from this?
Alright. Yes.
A hack my team and I have learned over the years is to always have backup audio. We've had cases where we recorded and then afterwards we found that the audio was absolutely bad. So we always make sure that we always have backup. So this is what it looks like on set. Oh my goodness, the energy is incredible. I love what I do. I absolutely love what I do, and I love working with the team that I work with. We are talking everything: career planning, mental health, personal development, and just life in general. In studio, I have a good friend of mine who has been pestering me to come to the podcast, and I finally decided, let's take time out of my very busy schedule and have him on the podcast. It's a Saturday morning and we are working. So thank you to everybody that follows and subscribes to this channel. So without wasting any more time, ladies and gentlemen, introducing, I never introduce anybody on the podcast. When I introduce them. So for people who do not know you, who are you, Oma?
I'm a millennial.
Millennial? Really?
Yeah, I'm a millennial. I'm a father. I'm married. I'm a professional. I work in the mining industry, and I'm also a businessman and entrepreneur. One of those, and I'm a mental health advocate because of the experience that I've been through, and I got to appreciate how mental health affects my everyday life.
Sure.
Being my profession, my family, my social aspects.
Social aspects.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm introducing something very new on the channel, right? We talk about money, we talk about finances. So this game is called the Save or Spend, created by Nicolette Mashile, also known as a finance buddy. And Nicolette, shout out to you for this amazing game. So we'll test your financial literacy knowledge. It won't be very difficult, right? So it's almost like an equivalent 30 seconds, but I will not use it in that same thing, right? So yours is with the 30 seconds, and I'm very bad at the 30 seconds. With that concept in mind, né? You just have to tell me what it is, what's the word,
It can be it's a trauma, or that thing that happened can be a trigger to a trauma that already exists. And how you react to it. Most of us, we self-isolated. We isolated from our friends. And that trauma affected me. PTSD, caused PTSD. Yeah. For me, it manifested into anxiety, serious anxiety. Anxiety is a symptom of mental health. You worry about the future that you're here physically, but mentally you're always worried about things failing, things not going well. And it affected me and my behaviors towards my loved ones, towards my friends. And it shifted a lot of structure in my life, and I ended up getting more depressed.
So this is something like a stigma. Second, you were checked into which even has a more negative stigma of Wahla. So how did you deal with that perception, the taboo, as we call it? How did you manage that?
You know a concept called the red curfew. The red curfew.
Another hack I've learned as a content creator and a podcaster is guest selection. Making sure that you invite the right guest at the right time to the podcast is absolutely important. You need to understand what your audience wants and what they need to learn or want to learn, and then match those specific needs with the guests that you are bringing on board. Equally important is to do research on the guests, get to know who the guest is, get to understand the story. And one way we do this is we do thorough research on our guests, and then we invite them to the studio an hour before we start recording, just to build the chemistry, just to build the rapport, and really just to make the guests very comfortable. It's also very important to use very open-ended questions which allow the guests to speak up and open up, and obviously share nuggets and insights that your particular audience will benefit from. So guest selection right up there to making the podcast very important. And as the podcast host, it's also very important to make them feel safe, secure, and like they can trust you with their story. And yes, the guest was absolutely incredible. So this episode will be dropping in the next few weeks, so be sure to look out for it, to be on the lookout for it rather, and to share it, because I believe that Motlalipule dropped some amazing nuggets, especially because it's Mental Health Awareness Month. Yes. Stay glued and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I do want to hear from you and what you think of the behind the scenes and the level of work that goes into producing this podcast.